It feels like everyone agrees that living with closure, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with being closed mentally. In science, they view this as the core of the scientific method, which is always being willing to ask questions. If you have something that you can't ask any questions about, you just want to close it, that's suspicious, that's off, that's not right. And religion also says the same thing, in the sense that you can't find out exactly what is happening. Trying to sit somewhere, mentally speaking, and take some position where we say, that's it, this is what's gonna happen, we figured it out. Religion doesn't support that. It wants us to live with the mystery of faith. That's why it's all about faith, because it's a mystery. It's not guaranteed, it's not a certainty. So religion doesn't ever promote go find out the ultimate truth so you don't have to have faith anymore, because faith is not the best place to be. No, having faith means what? Means not giving up. That's exactly what it means. And so science doesn't give up either, although sometimes maybe it feels like we want to, because it's getting too hard to figure out what else is happening with these atoms and these fucking molecules and the origins of gravity, and it's like super hard. But eventually we get there. We figure out a way to really I'm at the Boundary Trail. I was here before with David the last day, the morning before he got on his plane back to Sweden. The psychedelics and spirituality also have the same thing, that if you think you know it, you don't know it. If you want to hold the position that, yeah baby, I have this shit figured out, next time you trip, holy shit, it's gonna be a fun experience. If we take it for granted, if we become closed rather than open, it's almost like we fall out of tune with the rest of existence, because existence itself is open. It doesn't have a specific ending or a point of closure that we can point to and say, that's it, that's what's gonna happen, exactly like this. That's it, it's closed, case closed. There's no more need to ask or look at it. But there always is. There's always, even if we see it, even if we see the ending, it's almost like we only see a part of it. We don't see all the details. And so there's still more to look at. There's still more to say, okay, but when is it gonna happen? Or how is it gonna happen? What about these other people? Or what about the people that can't do that? Or all these types of things. And I wish we can just accept that. I wish we can sit and feel like, you know what? yeah, it is about having a mystery. It is about staying open and just doing the best with what we have right now, rather than giving up or saying, I want to know it all. Now, why is that? Why is closure against the flow of existence? Is it because it's just open? It's almost like by closing, we want to end it before it's time. It's like the opposite of abortion, like giving birth or miscarriage. Giving birth before it's time. Not
Mix it up a little bit.
giving enough space for
All goes well?
the whole thing to happen. If someone gives birth before it's time, it's just inappropriate. It's like the thing, there's a certain timing that needs to, the closure is subject to time. So maybe there is a certain time that we can give birth. Maybe there's a certain time where certainty can be found, but that can't be generalized. You can't just say that's it, it's all over, until it actually is all over. And so there's something about this. What does it mean to live with the mystery? It means feeling this sense of, I don't know what's coming, I don't know what's gonna happen, I don't know why this is happening, and that's okay. Being okay with being uncertain, being open. Like, let's say we find out in science that the reason something happens the way it does is because of Y, not X. And then we find out actually it's both. And then the person doing it, the person working on that problem, should just roll with that. Like, be like, okay, it's not Y, it's both Y and X. What next? What more can we figure out? Instead of saying like, oh, science doesn't work, this is stupid. We can't figure this out. There's no point, giving up. That's a kind of closure. That's looking for closure. Okay, that's it. Close it, it's over. I don't want to even try. Or yeah, anything like this. Or saying I already know it. Already I know everything. Don't ask me anything. Don't question. Because if you have it, you can stand the question. When someone has something, they're not scared of you asking them. If you have $100 you tell me that and I ask you, where do you get it from? You don't tell me, oh, don't ask, just give me the thing and I'll give you the 100. Like, you know, usually the more uncomfortable you are with questions, the less legit something is. Kind of like cheating in relationships. Like, why, where were you last night? What's happening with all these things? And it's like, oh, it's just a certain discomfort that comes from being asked, that is an expression of something being wrong. Now, I think this is more important in relationships than anything. Oh wow, this is cool. You wanna see? I don't know how well it looks on the phone. I love looking at that smoke rising slowly sometimes, just sitting like here, just meditating on it. Sometimes I sit and I'll end up writing something, just looking at that. But we try to do this a lot in relationships. Closure in relationships means like trying to decide that we'll be together forever, or that this is the way it is. We are something and no more open to change. It feels like something is off with that. But the people that wants it to be super open too, instead of just being what it is, it's also the same thing. I don't know. It just feels like there's some room to be more in alignment with the openness, but yet certainty of existence at the same time. The way the universe works around us. Like, it's not certain whether human beings will survive, or whether biology will leave Earth, or whether we will go extinct, or whether the universe will end in a heat death, like losing energy by separating too much, or how it will end. But that's fine. But there is certainty. Like right now, there is a phenomenon which we experience as gravity. It doesn't matter how it works. But there's something like that. There's something where it pulls things, and we can calculate exactly how hard it's pulling things. It's how we can fly planes, or rockets, and land them in the exact places, or bombs, or just anything. And so this sense of having some certainty, like for sure we're like this, but we don't have to know the ending. Just be cool. Just be cool in the moment. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need to feel. We don't need certainty to be safe. We don't need to say, it's just like this. and then we can relax. No, just relax into the, I have no idea what this is. Just like, okay, I have no idea what this is. I might die, might explode, might get cheated on, who knows? Just relax. Because not relaxing just makes it worse. Not relaxing just means whatever happens, it will be fucked up. If you're relaxed, if you're tense, closed, and the best thing happens ever, it will still hurt. It will still force you out of shape and fuck with you because you're not ready for something to change. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you guys have a great thing going, but you meet someone that you're really connecting with, like the best person you could ever meet right now, this point in your life. If you're closed, meeting the coolest person ever is going to be a curse, because you're gonna like not know what to do, how to go from one relationship to the next, because you had this closure thing, you had this closed thing, like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, husband, and this is what they're gonna be. But yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe they turn out to be someone you don't realize they are. They were doing something crazy behind your back, and now you don't know what to do anymore. Instead of just letting them go, you want to forgive them. People start convincing you that you're wrong, you're imagining things, they were there for you the whole time, can't you do this, whatever. Stuff like this. So yeah. And the same thing for politics or something like that. We feel like, oh yeah, this is the law. This is the way it should be. Drugs are illegal. Or communism is terrorists. Or anything like this stupid shit. And then we go and say, actually, this drug in particular seems to be really healthy. And we're like, what? We want to execute ourselves. We want to throw people in jail and freak out. Why? Because we're closed. Being closed is so dangerous. And being totally open is so dangerous. It's about finding this universe-like balance of it. Taking time to assess what is certain right now, and how to be open with that too. Like, yeah, there is gravity right now. Is it possible that we're misreading what's happening? Yes, maybe it works some other way, but there's something like that. There's something like that we're experiencing. We can confirm it with experience, with consensus, with mathematics, with physics theories. It just makes sense. If there was no gravity, things wouldn't stay together, it would just all fly everywhere. But maybe it's not gravity, maybe the concept is a little bit different. Like before, people used to say, oh, lightning comes because God is angry. Now we think lightning comes because clouds come together and electrons do something. Maybe in 200 years we'll think, oh, lightning happens because the probabilistic quantum change in the fields is spawning something. Like, it just keeps changing, but it doesn't matter. There's something like lightning. That's what matters. What is the given? What is the given? And what is not given? Finding a clear ability to go and come with that, with what is given and what is not a given, and kind of just staying in this very strong, like a scientist, but very open, also like a really good scientist. There is this mix of being very certain of what is there and very open with what's not sure. The same thing with religious people. They know for sure what is a fact. But the process is one process. That there is a purpose or meaning to everything. And that we can't match knowing all the details of what's happening. And so there's these givens. But also there's openness, like, oh yeah, well, what's gonna happen? Who's good? Who's bad? What's the right thing? Anyone who claims to be under the banner of science or religion or any of these things, anyone who claims to be anything, or just feels like this is totally closed and there's no room for openness, you know this person is weak. They don't have it. There's something off. The more openness you see, the more someone is openness with some hardness, the more balance of this you see. You gotta see, like, it's almost like not a balance in the sense of 50-50, but both. Like both 100-100. You're completely certain and completely open at the same time. That's the real balance of the universe. The universe is totally certain. What is happening is totally what is happening. And yet, it's totally open. What will happen next? Maybe the sun will blow up and the universe ends. Maybe a black hole swallows existence. Maybe it just disintegrates in an instant, like it started. Maybe we go extinct. Maybe we wake up the AI that starts to control the universe and make matter compilers. Who knows? This is the balance of existence that is so cool. It's totally both ways. It's totally left and totally right. It's totally dark, totally bright. Totally old, totally new. Totally everything. That's what's up. Totally fucking everything, dude. That's what's up.